my last 8 years, I used to live in San Francisco. Doing working for a multinational games company. That's kind of my last 6 years there. But when I realized I want to start a company, it was feeling that I'm not 100% sure that Silicon Valley is the best place anymore. I mean, just both from a personal cost perspective, like if you're going to stay a year without a salary, it's not the cheapest place to survive. But also from leads and talent, and you can probably set up a small team, no problem. But then when you want to scale, then you're knife fighting with Google and Amazon and all those people. So it's a hard place.
You must have been in SoMa for the knife fights.
That's exactly where I lived actually, second and Folsom.
So it's about talent?
It's a mix. For me, it was a mix of things. So basically, when I started looking, I looked at Europe, place I used to live before. So I used to live in Helsinki and London before I moved to San Francisco. So I looked at both places. I also looked at Barcelona, Paris, Stockholm, Berlin. So I went to all those places except for Berlin, but I visited all of them at the beginning of last year to try to figure out what was the right place. And I came to Portugal actually. I wasn't expecting. Originally, it wasn't on my list, but somebody mentioned to me. I came here and I was really impressed with I think it has a good mix of things. It's probably not the best in anything, but it's the bureaucracy is kind of mid-level. It's not as bad as Spain or France or Germany, but it's also not as good as let's say UK or something. Well, UK is who knows what the UK is going to be, but I thought it was a good compromise between a lot of different variables. That coupled with the fact that so on the game side, which is the thing we do, it's the least developed of all those places I talked about. London has a big community, Stockholm, Helsinki, Berlin, all those places have bigger communities. I felt here I had the chance to actually help grow the community and not just go and compete somewhere else. That was important to me. And then the last piece was, I'm from Brazil originally, so I speak the language. I think there's something to be said about being able to speak the language. Even though everybody here speaks English, it's still a little nicer when you go to the tax office and you actually know what they're saying.